So this 135i, what are we dealing with? On paper it says it's got 302 horsepower, and then we're moving on to 332 foot-pounds of torque, which is quite a lot for a 2 litre petrol. I think that's a good output, not too bad. 0-60 stated is 4.8 seconds, so about 0.2 seconds off my car, off the old 140i. It does feel quick. You can tell it lacks later on in the up in the rev range, as you say. Mile per gallon is actually, I found it worse in this than my 140i. So we'll get into. So guys, here it is, new M135i interior. Here you can see the new hood, a lovely heads-up display there, and there if the camera focuses into it. Sorry, so this is the new virtual cockpit. You got your sat nav in the middle, revs up the right, which is still taking some getting used to, going anti-clockwise, and speedo on the left-hand side. BMW's new operating system 7 is absolutely levels ahead of the one of my 140i. I'm not knocking the one in my 140i. This is just, you know, there's so much stuff you can do on here. I think it's a lot. It looks a lot better. It's more aesthetically pleasing. The sat nav's a lot bigger, you can tell. So there's no business nav model in this car. They all come with this nice big screen here, from what I believe. So you can go through all your settings. You've got all your media options here. Moving down, got the new gear knob, which is quite nice. It can get a bit mucky straight away. This is a gloss black one, and you can tell there's fingerprints everywhere. It's not kept too clean, but I like the layout of this down here. The start-stop button takes some getting used to being there, as opposed to up here. But you've got your sport, comfort, eco. You can configure these, all your transmission and your gearbox settings. Electronic handbrake, now that's a big difference from the M140i not being there. I know I'm not going to compare this to 140i as such, but that's electronic handbrake. Saves a lot of space, but you can't do it in nice little donuts and stuff like that. Also in the interior now, the BMW have absolutely killed it with this lighting in here. It looks absolutely brilliant. I think it takes it from all the other models ahead of it. I think the interior is ahead of its class in this 1 Series. Here's the new M Sport steering wheel. Now the big difference for me inside this car is the M Sport seats, the bucket seats. Now, excuse my back there, but you can see straight away the difference compared to the 140i is miles ahead. And we've got the back seats here, not much room in the back, better than the 140i I'd say, just slightly marginally, but a lovely little car, I'd still don't know if I can get with the front grills though. So anyway, let's get into some driving. Right, so first impressions of this car then. Interior is a lot better than my 140i, straight away off the bat. If I could have this interior in here, in my car, sorry, I would. The car itself, driving, feels a lot more stable than my 140i. No skittishness about it. Can I hear some pops out of the back, can't I? When it comes down. Yeah. It's just that noise for me. I don't think it's... Something's killing noise, and I don't know what it is.
See, then it should have changed.
Yeah. Someone's killing it. Yeah, I think the PPF's going to be a killer for a lot of cars. I know it kills mine compared to an old 140i, but I think the 3 litre B58 engine brings the sound back through to it.
It gives you the character as well.
It does, it gives you the character. This sounds like it.
Doesn't feel... I mean, it's quick and it holds the road, but it just doesn't feel like you could have that sort of fun with it.
Yeah, I feel like you get bored. It's a point and shoot car, this car.
Yeah, definitely.
It's similar to an Audi S3 Golf R. You point where you want to go, you put your foot down, it's going to take you around that corner.
Yeah. A little lack a bit of spirit, and it's
yeah, that's what
I wouldn't say boring, but
no, by no means boring.
You've not got that element of excitement if you.
It's not got its own character, has it?
No.
I'd say like your RS3's got its own character.
It's more of a mainstream car.
Exactly.
The M140i is it's on its own, really.
Yeah,
It's in a league of its own.
Don't get me wrong, if you're looking for a performance car and you've not got all the driving ability and you want something that's going to keep you on the road, then I think this is for you. I think you could pick this over a Golf R if you like the front grille and if you prefer the looks to this.
Yeah.
Because I think the interior will be a class above the Golf R.
The interior is definitely the best in class.
Yeah, this BMW, this interior, they're getting this from the 5 Series, the 3 Series, the 8 Series. This operating system 7, the heads-up display, all the digital driving displays, they're all from the 8 Series. M8 was on a toned-down scale, yeah, but they're in the 1 Series still. And I think that gives it the upper hand compared to a Golf R and S3. So, we'll see. We'll see what people think.
It looks better in person than on photos, but it's still
look a lot better in person than photos.
I think it'd still take a while to grow on you.
Yeah, I don't mind the back and the sides, and don't get me wrong, it does look squatted, this car.
Yeah.
I think that's just for being a bit wider on the back end, but I'm still 50-50 with the looks. So we'll see. We'll see. I think people will grow to it, and more people will buy them. If you are interested in one of these, I know Stratton BMW have got a killer deal out at the minute. You can get these for $399 down, $399 a month, which is similar to what you were paying for the 140i when they've just ended production. So you can get one for a similar price. I'm not sure if that's due to them not selling enough in the first quarter or not, but it's still a good deal for this type of car. But knowing in the back of my head that I've got my 140i for cheaper than this is advertised now, I think I've got a steal of a car myself. But we'll see what people think of it. Right, in terms of seat spacing, the room you get in this car, I think you get marginally more room than in my 140i, and it looking quite similar to what you get in a Golf R or an Audi S3. I think the Golf R you get about 20mm more in the back seats, I think, but apart from that there's no difference. It's also talking dimensions at back of the car. This is 10mm wider than the original 140i, so they've tried to give it a more aggressive look about the car.
You can hear the valves open and closing.
Right, so what I have found with this gearbox compared to the ZF8 speed in the 140i, it can be very sharp and juddery when you're coming up to slow corners, pulling up to junctions, especially if you're in sport and you've got the gearbox into sport as well. It don't know which gear to be in, it don't know whether it wants to be in first, second, third gear, and it can be really quite bumpy. I know when you shove it across into the gearbox into sport, it holds the revs higher anyway, but it still could be a bit smoother for me. Everyday driving in comfort mode is not that bad, but if you want a bit of a spirited drive, it just takes a bit of the excitement out of it. It makes it too juddery for me, and you can't really enjoy it as much as you could a more smoother gearbox. I know your gear changes are more sharp, they hit you more up the back end, but to me it just doesn't drive perfect for how it should in sport. So as I was saying earlier, the four-wheel drive drivetrain in this, it keeps it absolutely stable on the road, perfect at all times, to be quite honest. But the only way to half excite the car is a quick dab on the brakes round the corner, and the back end will feel like it wants to come out but never actually does. As you can see there, downshifting, it doesn't know what gear to be in, and it downshifts too quick. But as you put it off the throttle round this corner, it'll soon build up its speed, but it just feels absolutely glued to the road as it does. I don't think I'd have that much confidence in my 140i doing that. I'll be watching for the back end coming out constantly. but this thing really does glue to the road. The throttle response is really good. It's really sharp. As much throttle as you put on, that's how much it's going to give you. There's no sort of break in the throttle, it's all there. So walking round this bit of the car then, that's a fake vent, as Lewis pointed out. So you've got the 18s on here and a lovely Estoril blue. Just let the camera focus in there. Got your grey mirror caps. These are your 18-inch alloys. Massive discs on these. Huge discs. Brilliant stopping power. Blue M calipers. Going around the front of the car then. There you are. There's your big grills. Now what do you think to them? That is something that I'm going to have to get used to with this car. I can't seem to get used to the massive grills on it. Apart from that, I think all the other details are quite nice about this car, but for some reason the front end just reminds me of a Focus. And I can't seem to understand why, but that might be the huge grills, that might be the shape of the bumps on the car, the grooves. But this back end for me is the best part of the car. Exhaust pipes. Here we have it, M135i. This one is in the Estoril blue. We've got the 18-inch on here, adaptive suspension, so it rides the road quite well. And what do you look to the back end? X-Drive. I think the back end's nice. The exhaust pipes on this are massive compared to the 140i. You've got a lovely gloss back rear diffuser here, it's quite mucky. Rear view camera and a nice lip spoiler. Let's move around the front of the car.
Does give you that kick from the start though.
Does, yeah.
Really does.
That's what I've always said this. The launch control in my car's shit. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Launch control in this gives you a proper, you know, it really does kick you back in your seat, doesn't it? And
I mean, my head hit the back of the.
Yeah.
The camera went up, and you do feel it.
That's what I mean. You do feel it. It's fucking good. So there you are, guys. What do you think to this car? I think the pops and bangs sound absolutely brilliant. It's probably got more pops and bangs than my 140i, but that'll probably be due to the PPF exhaust in mine. Needs taking out. The front end though, it's the front end for me. I'm not quite sure what to think. You know, but the spec of this car with the adaptive suspension, the four-wheel drive, on the 18s it rides really well. It's more comfortable. I think it soaks up the road a bit better than the 140i. But I'm going to do a voiceover and let's compare it to an Audi S3 because I've got to my time's up with this car now. So I'll catch you then. Like I was saying earlier, guys, you've got your operating system 7, your entertainment. Speaker systems are good in here. You probably won't be able to make it out, but really clear. This car, it hasn't even got the Harman Kardon sound system in here, and I think this is a big upgrade compared to the old standard systems. I think they're a lot better than what the old standard systems were, the BMW individual, I think they used to call them. Another big thing in here, these bucket seats, as I was saying, the sports seats with the heated seats, they're absolutely perfect, they're brilliant. They hold you perfectly in. They've got more support around the sides. Your lumbar support is much better than what it is in, say, my 140i, the heated seats there. The lumbar support, they're not brilliant, they're just standard 1 Series seats. But these, they've really made an effort to go to and make a perfect seat for this car, which actually goes with it well. If I could have these seats out of here and put them in my 140i, I think I would 100% without a doubt. You can get these seats in leather. These have got the M Sport Alcantara with the stitching and the M colours. That goes really well with the car. I don't know if I actually prefer the Alcantara compared to the leather. The leather does look really well, but also the Alcantara does too. So, just letting some horses pass there. So yeah, this car I think is really well built inside. You can seriously tell the quality of all the materials here are much better than what they were in the 140i. I think it's got a more premium feel to it. So don't get me wrong, I do like this car and I love the interior. The interior is probably the best bit for me. But the way it drives brilliant if you like to be stuck to the road all the time. But if you want that bit of extra excitement, it's not quite there. The gearbox it doesn't know whether to kick down sometimes, it doesn't know what gear to be in. Even if you're in manual gearbox, you know, it's a bit jerky. You don't get too much road noise in here, it's not that bad. You do get a bit of tyre noise off the road. I think most performance cars have that anyway with the high profile tyres, so it is a good car. Would I buy one? Not if I have my 140i. That's my true answer. I think I'd be tempted to have one if I didn't have my 140i, or if I'd never experienced my 140i. But I think it's going to be so much similar to an Audi S3, a Golf R. If you want a car like that, a not 60 car, launch car, brilliant, buy it, because this one will be better than the Audi S3 and the Golf R in my opinion. The interior is outclassed both cars. The Audi S3 interior is really good, but I think this one just edges it. A newer car though, so we're going to see the new Audi S3 soon when that new shape comes out. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, please subscribe, and comment what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.